Hi, I'm Jale. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be a reading for Gemini for the month of April 2020. Let's go. First of all, I was pre-shuffling the cards. You guys are a little bit up and down. Hope you're okay. Don't sort of, I can feel a lot of mental trying to work everything out. But you're doing it in this sporadic wave. It's like 1 minute you're kind of trying to really figure everything out, and the next minute you're very depressed, and the next minute you're okay. Take a deep breath. I'm thinking of you guys because I feel like someone's beating themselves up here. They can't figure something out. And I know, I get it, you're very highly able people. Let it be. Right, let's have a look. What does Spirit have to say for Gemini for the month of April? Very kind of up and down energy though, I'm not going to lie. And I get it as a Gemini. I mean, my moon and sun has now progressed. My moon's progressed into the 3rd house and my sun's progressed into Gemini. So I get it, but don't burn yourselves out because, you know what I mean, you need to preserve your energy. So Gemini for April 2020. Gemini, April 2020. What can you tell us, Spirit? What is it that we need to be letting these Geminis know? Gemini. I'm hearing the best is yet to come. Don't forget that. I'm scared to lift this card up. Is this the right way? Okay, we've got accelerated motion, which is the 8 of Swords in the reverse. Okay. Sorry, the 8 of Wands. For some reason, this looked blue. That looks blue there, doesn't it? How interesting. There's purple here. So the 8 of Swords is being trapped in the mind, is that mental kind of, as exactly as I've mentioned it. And it's weird, it's like a trick of the eyes almost. Is what you're looking at a visual trick of the eyes? Is your brain sending mixed signals to you? Because I think what you need to do is switch off for a moment and then re-look at it at a later date. Because look, this card here, I don't know if you can see this, it's purple. Like, these cards are not blue, they're purple. In fact, is there something, has someone replaced my eyes? Is this my eyes? See, now I'm doubting myself. Right, this is because I'm channeling for you guys. Now I've got to wash my hands. No, it's not a trick, okay? Take a break, look at it again, okay? If you can't understand it, take another break, come back to it when you do. End of story. Don't sit going throwing it up in the air, trying to sit. It's just not, you're going to end up winding yourself up, and then this gets all. But look, this looks like it's the 8 of Swords, which is mental entrapment. The 8 of Wands is movement, okay? You probably will feel confined, very confined with this energy, all right? We have to remove the limitations around your mind because your mind is your freedom right now. As someone who did Big Brother in the UK in 2014, who has been locked in a house with no internet and limited food, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't have coffee sometimes. Like, at one point we couldn't have coffee. We had basic rations like gruel and rice and chickpeas, and we had no internet, and everyone in the house hated me. Trust me, you got the right person, because I've told you. If anyone can help you out of this situation, it is me, alright? If you don't be looking into this for don't be looking into old footage of this on 2014, because I'm not gonna lie, it's bad. It's bad. Like, everyone who watched it was like ringing my mum going, "Get her out of there, this is disgusting." And I'm like, this is my normal life, what are you talking about? Because it kind of is. And now, but this is the thing, you would explain it to people and they wouldn't get you. Anyway, guys, your mind is your tool in this whole scenario, so do not work it with useless things that are not going to help in this situation, right? And I've got to have to wash my hands twice now, right? This is about mindfulness. You don't wish for things happening in a few months to happen immediately. You're going to end up winding yourself up, all right? You practice meditation, you practice mindfulness. If you don't know what mindfulness is, you Google it, all right? And you learn how to do it, because Ain't no one wishing for things that are going to be happening in like 8 years. You know, well, I was there for like, I was locked in confinement for like 7 weeks. So 1 week before the house, that's 6 weeks, and then 5 in the house. Guys, trust me on this. Like, the fact that you've got internet right now, and let's just thank everyone, the fact that we've got this. And we've got to be thankful for what we have got. But don't underestimate your mind in all this. It's like you're trying to work things out at the moment that you're not ready to see, okay? Hence the change and trick of the eyes. But this is going to move at some point forward. Don't underestimate what is going on. 8 is infinity as well, which is infinite abundance, which is the 5D. This is about the fifth dimensional elements transiting into your immediate reality, which is, we're still in 3 dimension, but we're transiting into 4D, 5D. I get it. Everyone is worrying about all these lots of different things, and I totally get it. Okay, I'm totally empathic about that. We're birthing into a new age, okay? With all births, with all new realms, new realities, there is a lot of release, okay? It isn't always easy. Trust me when I say this. I walked in that house and I lost like 5 stone, and I came out a different person, all right? Now, yes, some of it is not always lovely, but you are going to gain something from this. I will tell you that now. Because I'll tell you what, little did I know 6 years ago when I came out of that, it would be preparing me for this. You never know. And this is the thing, 2 years before this, I was ill in a bed, working on my healing technique. You know, and then I gave up meat, I gave up alcohol. 2 months ago, I gave up cigarettes, I gave up smoking. We are always being prepared, and little did you know, so did you. So did you. Do you know what you were being prepared for yet? That is your first task. That is your first task. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're going to step into that energy and be like, oh, I couldn't work it out, I'm driving myself mad, leave it. Come back to it. Meditate, ground yourself, protect yourself, use mindfulness, and then come back to that energy. But don't sit and drive. There's no point. We have got, in my opinion, about 3 months. It depends where you are in the world. If you're in the Western Hemisphere, 3 months. Minimum. Maximum 5. 3 months, though. I'm saying 3 months. All right. Ace of Swords in the reverse. Lack of clarity. Lack of understanding. Lack of... Some things, you've got to remember, right? If you're transitioning out of a 3-dimensional reality into 4D, through 4D into 5D, your mind isn't 5-dimensional. Not being funny, but there's a lot of things that you're not going to be needing. Your ego, for one thing, not just yours, everyone's, ours. There will be a releasing of that. There's a releasing of the need to be, I mean, for example, your memory is probably going to be transiting through certain things as we come out of that, because the memory is very much a 3-dimensional energy, and knowing is the more higher vibrational energy of this. And this, because you're Mercurian, you're ruled by Mercury, which is currently in Pisces, you're just like, you know, because we've had that Chiron. Don't forget what I said about the last month's astrological placements when I talked about Chiron conjuncting the sun and the moon around the 24th, 25th. I mean, look at what's going on at the moment. And I said there's going to be a lot of confusion going on. Yeah, there is, because we have to allow the energy. That what we're seeing at the moment is the remnants of something. Let it settle. You're not going to, sometimes you're not going to get this. Now, unless obviously I'm telling you these things and you're starting to get downloads as I'm talking to you, or streams of information, then great. Write it down though. Write it down. But you, at some point, this is again the Ace of Swords, that new thought process, that's going to come about as well. That's not, it's not, you're not always going to have this confusion. You've got to ride the wave. That's going to be the key term over the next couple of months. Ride the wave. We do not argue with Mother Nature. We don't argue with Mother Nature. We don't, I mean, we can argue with them. What's the point? I mean, we can argue with upstairs, but I mean, I'll be really honest with you. I did that for 2 years in a bed. I was like, why are you putting me through this? What are you? And then I was like, actually, no, kind of needed to do that, because otherwise I wouldn't know what to do now. Wouldn't know how to do the healing techniques that I need to use for now that I've uploaded on YouTube, that I'm just waiting for Spirit's green for go, and then it's out there. All right, and trust me, I'm going to be topping my energy up. Trust me, they need a steamroller. All right, they're going to need a steamroller over here because this is we're vibing high right now. Okay, so Spirit are going, what's your ego? Fifth house and sun in fifth house, so completely valid. Owned by Spirit. Three of Cups, reunions. But is it a reunion with your higher self? Is it a reunion with the other guides? Is it new guides? Is it new connections? Is it new people? In every sense, because I feel like it is going to be in every sense. It's a new consciousness, it's a new reality, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, and I'm feeling good. Because that's exactly what this is. And not just that, but you. Don't forget, at the moment, the whole concept of as above, so below is carrying out at the moment. So what you're witnessing externally is going to be a microcosm of a reflection of going on inside of you. One refraction of consciousness, and every other refraction or fragment of consciousness that is currently going on is also going to be working internally. What we're working on internally is manifesting externally. We have to be very careful about what we're manifesting right now. Gemini, please, for the month of April 2020. Devil, keep your thoughts very high vibe. We don't need this. We don't need this. And I'm not saying we as in we don't need you. I'm just saying, look, my progressed sun is in this, and my moon is in, progressed moon is in third house, right? So I'm all kinds of Gemini right now. I've got a very close friend. If you're watching, my brother, we know we've got this. But I've got a very close friend who is Gemini. Extraordinarily talented human being. And I'll be honest with you, when I was shuffling these cards, I was like, the heck? I was getting all kinds of weird information, and it was just that dualistic energy that I was picking up on. Temptation, lower energy vibration. It could be sparking up certain fears or concerns within you to sort of lean on things that you don't need to. If you feel like you're struggling keeping your thoughts high vibrational, take a break. Don't, because this is the thing, you are very dualistic in nature, in your energy. In fact, you're more neutral, and so you're going to be, your mind will be swayed by things very easily with the general collective of energy going on. Take a break in all things, because we don't, if you're thinking about these things and you're starting to go and pick up on a negative stream, let's say, you'll end up flowing with that, and we don't want it. All right, as in you wouldn't want that, I'm sure. So take a break when that happens. Practice mindfulness. Watch your thoughts, because they can create your reality. Right, so yeah, look, you guys are beating yourselves up. I get it. It's a state of mind. Freedom is a state of mind. All right, meditation. Train your mind. The only way I got through what I've got through in my life is by sheer determination and this. And I trained my mind. I mentally prepared for, I'll be honest with you, I knew 7 months before I was going in the house that probably I would need to prepare. So I mentally prepared for 7 months. And when I got in there, they were like, how are you so calm? And I'm like, because I'm mentally prepared. This is, if you're not in that energy now, mentally prepare. Start mentally preparing. That's your strength. You guys are the Mercurian, strength. And then when you've done that, this is going to speed up as well. You are going to end, then look, the star's there. You can then, that's a catalyst for change. It's going to transition you into that energy. So don't forget, you started with this in the upright, and now accelerated motion. You're going to, don't forget this whole concept. There's no time. You're probably going to go like, oh, time's really sped up. Yes, because we're transitioning. Yes, because you've released that prison of expectations, because what's happening here is you're used to thinking in a certain way, and a sort of utilizing certain tools to think in a certain way, and you don't need them anymore. You don't need to be in that energy anymore. You don't need that. It's about transitioning into that new energy, which is 4D, 5D, which will then speed things up, because it will just propel you into a different state of mind. Your mind, as you know it, is leveling up. You're basically going through a leveling up process. All right, that's essentially what this is, and it's about learning the new way, and it's about trial and error. This is not, you've got a few months to get this right. That's, you know, and if you fall in April and you're sort of not too sure about it, you've got practice. That's it. You'll be fine. All right, so let's see what else, Gemini, for April 2020. What else? What else can you tell us, please, for Gemini? Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so we've got the Seven of Swords here in the reverse. Okay, now this is deception and envy. This can be someone wearing a mask. So it could be that you have been used to a certain way of dealing with things, or maybe someone around you you're used to dealing with someone around you in a certain way. Maybe they're wearing a mask. This is being removed. This is about to be removed. So if you're in a situation where maybe you're trying to work out what's happening with your counterpart, maybe that's part of the mental conflict as well here. Maybe that's a part of it. Maybe you're trying to wish for that to hurry up. You're going to slow yourself down, right? This, during when you're kind of trying to transmute everything and sort of balance yourself out, your person is probably undergoing a transition where they're removing a mask. They're removing what no longer needs to be around them, which means that they can obviously then more balanced with you, yeah? Because look, we've got here the Two of Cups, spiritual union. As you can see, the two minds are meeting them because the two minds are on the same level. They're on the same page because you've removed that three-dimensional thought process and you're in that more telepathic energy because you're more connected then. In between is the Two of Pentacles, which is, again, it's that indecision, I don't know, and juggling, I don't know. And then we've got the Ace of Cups. So in between the indecision, that is actually the block at the moment. The real block is your indecision, and how you're mentally processing things is the block. Because look, that is stopping the Ace of Cups and the Two of Cups. And can you see it's doorways? This is about choosing the right doorway here, which is essentially the doorway of, I mean, look, no offense, but this is, look, you're going to be pushed through the doorway anyway, because this is like, this is happening right now. So, and I know you're probably thinking, oh, isn't that a bit weird that you're, you know, this is like lots of people ill and there's a lot of people struggling and you're viewing it as some kind of upgrade. Yeah, because it's one fragment of what is really going on, yeah. And the rest of it, I'd love to sit and be able to give you more depth, but YouTube, they hate me talking about this. I was doing political predictions a few months ago and I got everything blocked to the point where I was like, even swearing I couldn't do. So we're being heavily watched on YouTube. So I will try and bring you as much truth as I will allow it, but people be monitoring people on here, and especially me, because I've got a big mouth, you know, like, you know, I've been all over Twitter the last couple of months since December, begging people to not vote in a certain government because, you know, we have to be really careful about what we're doing. Hint, 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 hint. And of course it didn't happen, and so I've been vocalizing everything since then and predicting things, and I was getting obviously a bit too close. So because it was all accurate, I did predict a lot of things that have actually happened, and I'd ended up stopping doing my predictions because I was like getting a few weird comments, and then that's the problem. And I told a few people about certain messages I was getting. I was channeling plague masks over and over and over again. I spoke to a few people in the spiritual community and they were just like, you're going mad. And I was like, okay, apparently I'm not. That's what happens. You've got to trust your gut. Don't listen to anyone. I'm telling you now. Even me, if it doesn't resonate, I'm telling you, sometimes you've got to really trust yourself, because that's definitely my fault. I shouldn't have listened to these people. Now I'm taking that very seriously. And those people that I've spoken to, it's interesting that blue, the camera's just shut down for a minute then. So if the volume was a bit weird just a minute ago, that'll be why. the camera light has just turned on and off. So if the camera light was going a bit weird a minute ago, the camera volume was going, the microphone volume, sorry, was going a bit weird, or there was a disturbance. Solar plexus chakra, this is willpower, this is confidence, okay? Again, relating to what I'm saying, if you've got a gut instinct to act in a certain way in amongst all this situation, go with it. Even if you speak to someone that is you regard as someone that's very well known or has got a very, very large following or is very well respected, tough. Like, because not being funny, but doesn't mean anything. In my opinion, it doesn't mean anything. Sorry, but it doesn't. Right, so Gemini. Three of Swords. Someone's going through a bit of heartache and loss here. Could have been relating to a third party situation. Let's have a look. Gemini for the month of April. Yeah, and we've got the Four of Cups that wanted to come out. Bit of discontentment and boredom. Let's have a look. What else can you tell me, please, about Gemini? Yeah, Nine of Swords is that suffering in silence, that kind of wounded warrior. Someone's really going through it here. Let's see why you're feeling like this. What is going on here? Yeah, you're really struggling with the purging of this in around the April time. It's like you're really struggling with the purge and how this is all releasing itself. Must focus on your sacral chakra here. Look into solfeggio music for the sacral chakra. Look into chakra cleanses, specifically sacral chakra cleanses. Watch your diet. If you can try and get probiotics, prebiotics and probiotics, get them. Because this is going to be good. Bacteria is going to be very good at the moment for you guys. Anything that is soothing the stomach, because this is going to be what's upgrading. And I think for you guys, you're going to feel it. All right. So anything orange, try and eat anything orange, because that will really top that energy center up. If you can get oranges, perfect. If you can drink orange juice, perfect. Maybe, I'm just seeing there's a bit of an acidic alkaline imbalance. Could be worth looking into getting baking soda and maybe putting a teaspoon into that. Obviously, if you have underlying health conditions that may restrict that, do not use that. And if you're if you're unsure, always consult a medical practitioner. I do have to say that, but this, I would be looking at recalibrating this. This is your emotional center. This is your sexual center. This is your center of joy. We need to bring joy into your life. You need to try and look for where joy will help. How is joy going to uplift you at this time? Okay, so April for Gemini. Yeah, Six of Swords, moving on to calmer waters. Okay, so April, I feel towards the end you're going to be transitioning through, all right, into something that you feel a little bit more au fait with, more comfortable with. Gemini, please. Okay, so we've got the Three of Wands in the reverse. Partnerships and alliances. This looks blue. It's not. It's actually purple. Again, trick of the eyes. Again, I feel like your mindset has been recalibrated at this point, where you're able to ground the energy and you're not so frantically trying to look at what's coming next, what's coming next, what's coming next. You're more in your mindfulness. You're more recalibrated in your mind. It's just this that needs to be looked at. But also, I feel like partnerships and alliances, that's going to be changing. It's like people that you maybe were connecting to, I feel you're going to start re-looking at. Maybe you'll make new acquaintances as well. I know on the internet, you know, never say never. Look, prosperity begins. Ace of Pentacles. This is new opportunities around making money, around stability, around financial security. This is also about abundance. You could be changing up your work. You could be getting new opportunities around work, but this is also about commitment. And look at this. Look, can you see the oranges as well, the peaches? And there's a tree with the butterflies, which is about transformation. And look, can you see there? There's that seed that's been planted and it's been nurtured. Something that you've been nurturing because of this situation now that you wouldn't have ordinarily nurtured is taking shape and is going to benefit. So you are coming out of this energy. My fingers will work at some point. you're coming out of this energy, you're coming out of that, and there's something here for you that is developing, is growing. Gemini, please, for April. Gemini. Gemini, please, for April. Gemini. The Fool. We've got a new start. The Fool energy. Look, she's walking out into the world, out the door. This is Aries energy. This is the Fool energy. This is taking a leap of faith, and it's got something to do with this new prosperity that you're gaining. So, okay, you're having to recalibrate the mind, and your emotional center's a little bit all over the place, but you're refocusing your energy onto something that is going to be profitable. There is a seed that was planted that is going to grow into something that is nurturing fruit. It's going to seed fruit. This is going to grow and give you something. Gemini, please, for the month of April 2020. Gemini, for the month of Gemini. They're asking me to have a look at where all the cards were placed. You're moving away from heartache and loss, and you're moving quickly away from the suffering and silence and into your emotional center. You're actually getting an upgrade in your emotional center. Wow, this is kind of powerful. Once you've done that, and look, do you remember, do you see me checking? So once you've done that and you've double checked everything, so you might get to a point where you're in this energy and you're like, what do I do next? Check everything, because truth will come in then. That confused energy, that unknowing, you're going to get it. You're going to get the answers. You're going to understand this. This is truth. This is power. You're going through an upgrade. This is you going through an upgrade. Very, very strong upgrade as well. Into your truth, into your power. Through that transitional energy, through that loss, through that worry, that concern. In prosperity. Archangel Michael, protective energy here. Absorb this energy. This is for you. This energy is for you. You'll be in this energy. You see that orb just drop down then? This energy is for you. Okay, guys. Gemini for April. Then the Four of Wands. Then the Four of Wands. There is something here. It's a jigsaw puzzle that is allowing communication to change up. Maybe with your counterpart there was different communication. Maybe the communication was struggled. Maybe there was an emotional, it was hard to emotionally sort of vocalize your needs, your wants. Maybe they found it difficult or hard to vocalize their needs or wants, and so there was a mourning or a loss or a shedding of a layer, because the situation, the relationship had to transcend into something new, into newer energy, because it was time to get to that Four of Wands, which was that kind of twin flame energy. But the upgrades have to happen. This again is your emotional center and your communication. Okay, so for example, maybe you are expressing yourself in a more productive manner, and maybe you're understanding and processing things in a more productive manner. Maybe your emotional center is resonating in a different way, which means that you're relating to people in a different way, which means you're understanding them in a different way, which means you can communicate with them in a different way, which is a circular. This is a circular thing. If you look, there are cycles everywhere going on right now. If you want to learn something, look in and then look out, and then you'll understand there's patterns everywhere. All the patterns you're seeing are going to help you. This is the same pattern. You understand and you look, you double check with your eyes. You remember when you saw that kind of weird bluey purple colour? You stop, you take the break, you recalibrate your mind, you focus on other things. You do what you need to do. Once you've recalibrated that and you've looked at it again and understood it, you're focusing on other things. You're working on your emotional centre, and then you're working on things that are going to serve you, because you're not focused on other things that would have been the focus previously, and because of that you can understand things differently, and because you can understand things differently, you're vocalizing things differently, and because you're vocalizing things differently, you're receiving and understanding things differently and communicating and around people differently to connect with. And so everything about this is coming full circle with these new beginnings to get to this, which is your foundation achievements with the rainbow. The rainbow is the energy we are in. This is the rainbow children. There's no coincidence that before I did this, I came across, they've hidden everything in my room, these blooming cherubs. There's cherubs everywhere. Quick story. There are cherubs, okay, that are, when there's a lot of incarnations that are ready to come onto the earth, because when people pass over, they go to a certain place and there's a transitional period, right? And then what happens is these souls come out and incarnate ready, but they come as cherubs, right? Trust me, I've been there, I've seen it with myself. They came in my room a few times and I'm just like, the heck is going on here? I saw them, I thought I was going mad. This was about 12 years ago. And it's always when there's a significant event. It's always been for me when there's like significant events. And it's like the birthing cycle of life, essentially. This is like the circle of life, essentially, right? And yeah, they gave me this, which is about prosperity in the home. Okay, it's a reddy brown feather. I give you that energy as well, guys. Take that energy for you. This is for you as well, guys. Now, they hid my hairbrush, and this is how I found this feather, looking for the frickin' hairbrush, because these cherubs are like kids. And obviously with kids, you've got to be patient with kids, all right? You can't be shouting at them. It doesn't matter if you're trapped in a room and you can't find anything and you can't go out and buy a hairbrush. You've got to be patient, right? And the spirit were like, Jale, there's a reason they're doing this. You've got to be in the right energy. So I was like, okay, I'll go along with it then. And I even played along a while and went, right, we'll play hide and seek then, you know, like I'll count to 10. I mean, if anyone was watching this, and the fact that I'm even explaining this and saying this out loud is ludicrous, because you're probably watching this thinking, this girl is insane. Guys, I don't know. The veil is thin. We're transitioning into 5D. So they're coming in this freaking room as well now. They're all coming in. They're piling in. So now my hairbrush is gone. My beauty blender was disappeared. I had to open up a new sponge. And I was playing hide and seek, we're going along with it, and the spirit were like, Jale, you'll get your hairbrush when the time is right. And I was like, okay, I'll go along with this. Remember, ride the wave. We're riding the wave, right? Got to live by the advice as well. And I've literally looking for this hairbrush, found the feather, and then because I was in a totally different space, sat down and filmed 2 healing videos, which I would never have done if that joyous energy, that childlike playful energy hadn't have entered into my reality. They're giving us what we need, all right? We ask for it, we get it. We ask, we get. We ask, we get. That's how this works right now, okay? So be careful of your thoughts and what you're co-creating at the moment. And maybe you're sat thinking, well, that's disgusting. How can anyone sit and co-create this? Who sat down and asked for change in this world? Who has sat down and said, this is disgusting, I can't believe what's currently going on in the earth? Who has sat down and gone, what are they going to do about this? There's universal order, they must be doing something. I know I have, look, I'm not going to lie about that. So you've got to remember, if you're manifesting this, what do you think this is going to be? This is not going to be like a freaking walk in the park, because you've got to remember, not everyone is on some certain levels. You know, some people aren't going to get this. So and we are all one. We are all one. This is what people aren't getting. We are all one and the same. We're fragments of the same consciousness. So if you're only as strong as the weakest link, all right? That's you've got to remember that. So we all do our part. We all only do what we can do. We don't overstretch. We don't go over and over something that we can't do. But this is a cycle, and for you guys, it's even more of a cycle of consciousness versus how you're expressing yourselves. That is what you're kind of looking at in April, okay? How you're viewing something, your conscious awareness, your perception of things, versus how you're processing it, and then how you're sending that out into your reality, into your world, because you're don't forget, you guys are the communicators. All right, so let's have a look. Okay, so let's see what else you can tell us for Gemini, please. Gemini, please, for the month of April. What else can you tell us, please, for Gemini for the month of April? So yeah, if I hadn't have been in that energy, I wouldn't have filmed that healing video, which is I haven't published it yet, but it's ready because I wanted to be in the right energy to film that, and I'm going to test it out as well. I'm very particular about my healings, so I make sure that it's how I want it to be. Don't suffer in silence. This is the Wounded Warrior, the Nine of Swords. This is the Nine of Swords. This is like the nightmares. This is like staying up at night, but don't forget the 9 is the ending. This is coming to a close. If you've been in this energy where you're suffering by yourself and you feel alone, this is closing out. You are breaking out into a new consciousness. Don't forget that the next move is the 10, which is the closure and the beginning, and it's coming. You're already in it. Bottom of the deck, 5 of Cups, emotional loss. You're purging. Okay, don't underestimate that. Gemini, please, for April. What can you tell me, please, for Gemini? World card. Look, you're closing out a huge cycle. You're closing out a huge cycle. And we've got the 3 of Cups. Also, this is about reunion. If, for example, you've had communication issues with your person, if you've had, you can't quite understand where they're coming from issues, if they couldn't understand you, maybe there's been miscommunications. This is getting wrapped up because you're shifting, they're shifting. By them shifting, you're shifting, and vice versa. It's all we're all one and the same thing. So if you've got an issue that maybe you've got a partnership that is dealing with a miscommunication, maybe it's friendship, maybe it's family. It doesn't have to just be partner. It could be in your immediate area, your house. Maybe there's been an issue that's getting resolved. There's a huge karmic cycle that's being unloaded here. And a celebration. Rejoice in that. This is people coming together, okay? So maybe you've not been happy in your house. Maybe you weren't in a mindset. You couldn't see the wood through the trees. That's transitioning. Maybe you couldn't understand someone in your house where you were sort of miscommunication. That's transitioning. We're shifting into something. Okay, what else can you tell me, please, for Gemini? Yeah, 5 of Pentacles, financial and material changes. So maybe you've had to invest in something and pay out a lot of money, and you're like, when am I getting it back? You're getting something don't forget, if you're transitioning from 3D to 5D, this is not about finances. This is about, people are going to be valuing things differently, and this is again all about the change of perspective, where if you focus more on money, there'll be a shift in more spiritual focus, which is again more 5-dimensional values versus the 3-dimensional values of finances. You may feel like you've maybe had a loss in your finances, but do you know what? You're a dualistic sign. Don't forget that. If you've had losses in that area, you're gonna get spiritual rewards. They're not, trust me, they're not here to sit and beat you up and be like, we're just, this is the entertainment for today. They want us to achieve so much. They want us to have it all right? But to have it all, we have to all be at the same vibration. We cannot. And if you've come here at this time, again, controversial, you would have signed up for this. And trust me, at the moment, I'm a bit fuming. But we got to get on with it. You got to just do what you can do. That's it. That's all you can do. But there is going to be a reward. It will be a spiritual reward. It might not, look, don't forget you had the Ace of Pentacles as well, so there's a new beginning in that as well, but it'll probably be more aligned in a spiritual area. It won't be as much of a focus around material items. But put it this way, your finances are changing, and your finances are energy. It's an energy exchange, isn't it? So the transition and the change that's currently going on, based on your change of perspective, based on your emotional center recalibrating, based on your verbal kind of exchanges changing as well, is all leading to rejoice and celebration, positive outcomes. Bottom of the deck, deception and envy. Were you kidding yourself? Were you trying to stick on to the old paradigms for too long? Right, let's pull some outcomes here. Last card. choices ahead, 7 of Cups, so choose wisely because you're going to have lots of choices, but ultimately, triumph. This is the Chariot. Don't forget, with the Chariot card is the black and the white horse. The black and the white horse, the yin and the yang, have to be working in unison in order to charge the horse forward. Okay? If one or both sides are imbalanced, then the horse is not moving. This calibration is bringing you into alignment. You're probably going to feel more cohesive in you. You'll feel more of a solid energy within you, which is going to drive you forward into success, security. Look at the determination. This is you. The red flag of security of the root chakra. The horse is solid and secure, triumphant, and look at the determined expression on the face. You know exactly what you signed up for. You're just remembering it is all. Right, let's pull the outcome. I want to go with Earth Magic. They're saying don't go with that. Okay, we won't go with that one then. What are we doing then, guys? They want me to go with the Keepers of the Light. Okay. They want me to go with the Keepers of the Light. We'll do that then, guys. Not a problem. This is my... I'll be honest with you. This is one of my decks I use sometimes now because I love it. The energy in these cards are like... Okay, Geminis. What message do you have for our Geminis for April 2020? April 2020. What can you tell us? Gemini energy, please. What messages would you like me to pass on for you? Psychic insight. Odin. Do you remember what I said about the change in perception and the change in the seeing things? This is all gearing up for this to switch on into a higher upgrade. It says your third eye is open. See truth for what it is. Follow your intuition. Don't doubt at this time, guys. Absorb this energy best you can. At some point it will focus. I don't know why his eye's not... I want you to see his face. His eye. He's down an eye. Do you know, it's really interesting. My dad is a Gemini moon and he's actually lost sight in one eye. And I was like, you need... I said, you need to... he's locked in a pub at the moment drinking. He's in Turkey. He's in a pub literally drinking. Drinking everything. He was like, alcohol kills it off. I was like, that's awesome, but you need to also look after yourself. And he's like, just come here. He was trying to get me to go out there for the summer and look after him for the winter. And I was like, is there anything else you'd like, sir? You know what I mean? Like I haven't got a life. Yeah, psychic insight. This is, the sight is being prepared. Now, obviously, we're not suggesting that your sight's going to go and you're going to, that's a bit much, you know, but I'm just giving an example of my dad. My dad is older, obviously. He's, I don't even know how old he is now. He's got to be about 72 or something. But yeah, oh yeah, he's. I mean, look, I'll be real honest with you. If he could have weed, he'd be smoking and he'd be drinking right now. But at the moment, he's in his own pub in Turkey, having a freaking ball right now, drinking up all the raki. Yeah, I mean, look, obviously we're very different people. Just I don't drink anymore as much as I did used to really love a drink, but I try and obviously at the moment there's no chance of that, but because we've got work to do. But right, Holy Amethyst, Divine Alchemy. This is alchemy, yes. Move beyond current challenges. Focus on what you desire. Yes, yes. There's more to this energy, guys. 100%. Look at that beautiful heart center energy, and look at the crystals as well. I don't know about you, but I could just sit and look at this card for hours. There's something about this energy. Does anyone, it's like my heart chakra's feeling an upgrade. That's how it feels. It's like don't forget, we were talking about the change around the sacral chakra. I think in fact you've had all of your chakras mentioned apart from crown and base. But you're definitely undergoing an upgrade here, which is a heart upgrade. There's definitely a very high upgrade that you guys are going to be going through in April, and it's a blessing. It's an intuitive blessing. It's not meant to scare you. It's not meant to make you feel like you're weird. It's meant to give you where your next part of your journey, you know, to the tools to help you with that. Hopefully that's been of some assistance. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. All your likes, shares and subscriptions. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I want you to all take good care of yourselves. That would be awesome if you could do that. If you need to get hold of me for personal readings and or healings, information is in the description box. And have a wonderful April. Take good care. Bye.